we're going to science some plastic. Websy builds some plastic. Websy builds some plastic. Science some plastic.
It always happens. Hey, everybody. It doesn't
Hello.
in that format. Websy here. Come on. Uh-oh. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right. My stuff is.
I think I had a phone call come in.
No. You did?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. We are live. Everybody, welcome to Friday Night with WebC Builds Live, and here we are having a great night. Dogs barking, all that fun stuff. Introductions. So, everybody knows who I am already. So, who the guy on the screen is right now, that's Jason. Jason, why don't you introduce yourself? Let everybody know who you are, where you're from.
I'm Jason Builds. I'm from Arizona, specifically northern Arizona. So the closest hobby store to me that deals with anything model kit related is about like with Gundams and all that kind of stuff is about 2.5 hours of a drive and a close to 5,000 feet altitude drop. So I build mostly from online stuff.
Awesome.
So yeah, I play guitar every night on TikTok just about, and then I also do I race cars, which I don't really do online, but I thought it'd be kind of fun just because of the pressure of the car. You guys would get true hot takes from me. And I'm currently driving a Formula One car around Luna Seca. If anybody cares about that, which probably nobody does.
Awesome. I love that racetrack. I played that. They model that track on a lot of different games. One of the most famous games for it to be modeled on is Gran Turismo. I love that game. Old school. I've played video games from Pong, Atari, all the way up to the newest game system through my whole life. So that's just been a thing that's always been with me. All right, and so my next question is, because one of the things that brought my attention to you is that you have videos and you interact with other Gundam builders on TikTok. So how did you really get into the hobby of modeling, and what's your drive? What gets you in there?
Hold on one second. Okay, I'm just not going to look at the screen because it only shows like the wheel. But but what got me into the hobby was I have a friend named Casey. He's been building Gunpla forever, and there was some stuff that was just not jiving with that wasn't okay at the time. Just witch hunts and all that stuff with a community that I was a part of, the Magic the Gathering community on TikTok. And I started doing TikTok because of like 3D printing. I was printing Magic decks, so that's where I kind of cut my teeth. on TikTok, but before that, I was streaming Pokemon, and it was like on Twitch, and it was just like Twitch is just weird. I don't like the elitism from it in TikTok. Um, the general vibe of just like how welcoming and helpful people are is just more like my style. So I met Casey um, on TikTok, and he was playing Magic, and then there was another creator. I won't say his name because that's who was getting the allegations, and then eventually, who I thought was my friend, he kind of turned on me really badly, and yeah,
Interesting.
so yeah, and I keep building, not because I honestly love building. It's a very cool passion. Um, the TikTok community is just of gunpla builders is really amazing.
Yeah.
Like I could post just to put them on like a little bit on blast. I can post a TikTok video of like saying, "Hey, um, I built the aerial and the high grade aerial, and I don't know what I should do like for like panel lighting." And there'll be so many people in the comments section saying, "Hey, this is what I did on mine," and you know, or do this for a diorama X, Y, and Z. You just get all these supportive like suggestions, and I love it.
Sweet. Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool. I can concur. My new experience. I've only had one experience with one person on TikTok that I did not enjoy so far, but it seems like everybody else who I encounter on TikTok has had this same type of experience with that person. So I
yeah.
kind of feel like, you know, I
It's a
totally get it.
them thing. Not
I Yeah, I don't need to say the person's name. Everybody knows who that person probably is. He's just abrasive, I guess. But everybody else I've encountered, tons of great people on TikTok, and I love that group that I found. That I've been pulling people out from interviews from that group, and I don't know what they really like besides them all being part of like this little circle on plastic addicts. I don't really know, what else to call them, or what they if they have a group title. I don't know, but they're great people to be around, and that's what's super awesome about them.
yeah. Also,
Next
the other thing
is
I will say
oh,
that I've noticed with the TikTok crowd, it may be Facebook and all the other groups are like this too. You can build a third party kit, and it is seen as like you built a Bandai kit. They don't judge it. And I've seen a couple groups on Facebook where you build a bootleg kit and you say, "Hey, this is a bootleg kit," and they'll tear you a new one and post that
oh,
same model kit. Like, "Hey, I heard you guys talk. I eventually did get the Bandai kit. Here's what I did," and it's still the bootleg kit, and then they praise you. Like,
I
I
totally
just
understand
don't.
that.
I don't understand that
I
mentality.
understand two sides of that coin. Um, See, the anti-bootleg people say that if you purchase bootleg, you're supporting an illegal IP. And if you do that, then you're taking money from the actual IP owner, which is Bandai. And I say, in my opinion, I understand that. However, if Bandai isn't going to supply me with what I'm asking for and everybody else is asking for and this other company is, why is it wrong? And
Exactly.
that's my opinion of it. That's a sole opinion of it. And I feel like as long as you give credit to the third party company for concept design and just say that it's concept design, why do we have to keep using this horrible word called bootleg? We call it a 3D resin concept design now, or a 3D printed design, or a 3D print concept, and it's attached to whatever.
Well,
I don't
yeah.
always say we have to, I'm not.
Now they make it in it, but I have them right here. My favorite model kit, just to kind of put them out there. This guy.
Ooh. Oh yeah, yeah. He's a great kid.
Yep. When I got him, Bandai only made it with a metal frame. And I wanted full plastic. I did not want the metal interior frame. There was a third party person that made it all plastic.
Right. Exactly.
So and now Bandai makes it, and I try every um I'm trying to get every single cent together to get him in the Bandai version. But
Yeah.
because I do agree, like, if they do make the kit, let's get it from Bandai, because there's just that Bandai quality with it.
There
But if
is.
Bandai doesn't make it, like,
Exactly.
are we really hurting Bandai's bottom dollar?
Well, in one sense, no. I would say no. We're not really hurting Bandai in that sense because yes, they are a multifaceted company in that way. But in the other sense is we might not be hurting Bandai the corporation, but those artists who do create Gundam are still alive and they're still getting royalties and stuff from all the sales of the model kits and stuff. So
Yeah.
I would say those guys are who's getting hurt. And that's what, looking out for the little guy type of thing. Because
Also,
Bandai
we'll just
does
put
that
this
for the
out there.
guys. Like Katoki gets a cut, dude. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Here's my all 3D printed model kit.
Oh, that's sweet. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I have no quarrels with that at all. That's pretty
And
sweet.
what's funny is I have the high grade. The high grade doesn't even come with this. And that's
The
like the
booster.
whole thing with this kit is like,
The booster. I get it.
and
Totally get it.
it's, and yes, that thing doesn't have the high grade, like, posability. Like, it is a fixed thing. I haven't painted it. Does it make me dislike the high grade? No. They both have their appeals, but it's funny to me when, like, the anti bootleggers, or the people want to just get over the top with it, do. I'm just like, at the end of the day, are you building? Are you gonna um are you, like, piracy? Not to get into that rabbit hole of a conversation, but, like, people who pirate movies spend 50 times more on movies than the average consumer. So anybody who buys bootlegged, I'm like, I know who's gonna buy the newest P Bandai when it comes out, like, regardless of what it is.
Yeah. Well, I feel like P Bandai's the
Yeah, I'm just picking on
premium
P
bootleg
Bandai
for
because it's
me.
like,
That's what I consider it, is premium bootleg because I can't even get my hands on it. I have to buy it third party if I want to get anything pre P Bandai myself because dumb reasons.
I
So
know, I get you, but you know
yeah,
what I mean. Like, the top of the top, like, who are gonna buy it? The guys who also buy the bootlegs.
right. Oh, I totally get
It just cracks me up. I'm like,
it.
so you're telling the one percenters that they can't? I'm just using that as, like, a general term. Like, the guys who are at, like, the very top, you're gonna tell them not to buy a warehouse of model kits? Okay, cool. They're gonna do it anyways.
Right. I totally get it. I've been around. I've seen some. I've seen some of the grief people have given to model builders who, I've been around those guys they're on Facebook for sure. They're hardcore on Facebook about it. I just show shoulders. I came to TikTok and somebody tried telling me that all my Bandai products weren't Bandai products. I was like, I've got the receipts in a box. I can show you that they're all Bandai kits.
You know, you
You
know,
know,
I
I
just
was
had this
like,
one right there. You're like, oh, look at that. So what does it say? It doesn't say the band.
yeah, I was like, does it say Toki? Like what do you expect? So I have old kits from the original Bandai. I have boxes like sitting in my backlog still that don't have the new Bandai Namco logos and stuff. You
Yeah,
know,
I have
but I
I have one, and it's at my work on display. Um, I'm doing the Bandai boxes, breaking them down, and then frame them in my office at work.
nice.
Um, just so because I'm the IT guy, and I run a club and I work at a school that's all about like model building and all that kind of stuff, and it's a way for the kids to see um, the beautiful artwork on these boxes. Like you can pick up any Gundam um, retail model kit, right? And the artwork is just drop dead gorgeous. And
Nice.
and that's just like I know how people are get all weird about like iron blooded orphans, but like this Barbatos, when you see it on like his artwork, if that doesn't make you want to build him, I don't know what is. You know what I mean? You don't even need to know anything about his like the anime. Like the artwork is just gorgeous. Yeah, the master grades. Um,
These boxes really are like they put the artwork even on the sides, and then they put thought into how they posed it for the
yeah,
purchaser. I do like that. You're right. There is a lot of good artistry into the box, and I get a lot of video value out of having the box in my video while I'm working on the kit because it's like you don't really have to ask what's on the kit or hey, what are you working on?
yeah.
You know,
Now, I will say
so
the only kit that I want to display, and I haven't quite figured out the box, is the shipping crate for my perfect grade GP01. Like,
Jesus.
what?
I will. I almost got that like 5 years ago. I almost got that kit.
I
I
will,
would have been overwhelmed. I bet.
dude. It is two perfect grade boxes
Wow.
for one model kit. It
Yeah.
is the most intensive build I've ever done, and even though I had my GP01 in like the Xenafries, whatever how you say it, like system, just with the
Yeah.
beam cannon. I'm never. I did do it once. I transformed it into the FB. Just hey, I did it. It's never going in FB again. I just don't like the FB. That's a personal thing. Um, but the hanger for my next perfect grade, oh, it's gonna be useful. Like, there's useful things for other ones, and like just to show everybody, here's the FB's little thing. So you open it up, right, and watch this. This doesn't make you want to buy this thing. I don't know what does. Just click a button.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Ring
it's
loaded.
like,
I like that.
and you have to build the button. You have to build everything for it, and it's like so beautifully engineered that you're just like, if we put GP01 as like the baseline of what a perfect grade is, there is ones that don't quite make it up, but there's definitely ones that are way cooler than it.
Yeah.
Uh, I had to cut the pair. The only weird thing is like they give you like the parachute cord that you have to cut, which is very very stressful. But yeah, it was a beautiful fun build.
I know
Uh,
what you're talking about. This MK2 I just bought comes with some of that parachute cord that you have to cut and put on some of the piping.
yeah, and it's a little scary, but
Yeah, yeah. I know what you're
but
talking about.
when you're doing that, that's the level of intensity. Um, Also, it's a solderless system for the battery for his eyes to light up, which is
Is
super
it
cool.
okay? So micro connectors.
You use the model like you use screws, and you're using the plastic to push the metals together.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
like
totally get what you're saying, and that makes sense. My
yeah,
brain is, I'm wrapping my head around all of it. That totally makes sense. Yeah, the
dude.
screw.
I spent like a whole day working on that alone. Like it was way too intense for what it is compared to the unicorn or Exia perfect grades where you just slap the LEDs in it and you're good. Like they
Yeah,
definitely have improved on it, but they didn't have that back when the GP01 was made. And but they came up with a very creative solution to it, and I fully support it. Like
yeah. Sounds cool. Sounds interesting. Like I said, that was a very big and intimidating box. I went to the local shop today to pick up my kit from being judged, and there was just it was over full of Gunpla right now. I was amazed. I was like, whoa. I was like
I will say the most intimidating thing with that kit is not even the box. It has 3 instruction manuals.
oh, oh no. Do
Yeah.
you have to use all three at once or is it sections?
So the first one is the core build.
Okay.
Like how to build the base, how to transform it, how to build the unit, right? Um Section 2 is like the water slide decals, what the symbolism of each water slide, why do we put this there and that there. Then book 3 is pretty much like a there is some cool things about like what how to make the paints for what isn't on the kit, which I think for perfect grades you shouldn't ever have to paint them,
Right.
which is but I understand why they did that, why certain parts are
Definitely.
that way. Can't really get mad at them. I can be frustrated, but I get it. But it's mostly about like why Anaheim in the technical drawings built the GP01 in the way that they did.
Okay.
So it's very intimidating, but then like you get to that third one, and it's not like there's like 4 parts you got to paint, but you get all this lore on the GP01, and then they give you like a little pass card that's um like your badge of Anaheim Electronics.
Okay. Cool.
So there's like for its intensity, there's also rewards
Yeah.
in the kit. Um,
Yes.
yeah. Now, do
Heck,
I think he's worth like $300, $500 when the PG Unleashed is at the same price? That's up to you. I think GP01's a great entry to perfect grade, but like if you built a couple of them, you'll be like, I'll just get a PGU like all day.
okay. Yeah, I'm yet to build a perfect grade.
It,
I,
it's
I
the Zaku and it are pretty good entries.
okay.
Uh, the Wing Zero, stay away from it.
I
Not to
wanted
say,
that to I kind of wanted that to be my first perfect grade.
um, the
What's the
problem
issue?
the it has rubber wings, rubber wingtips.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
which are super hard to work with. The other problems is it's based off of the '90s version of the kits, so it's not based off of the Verca or the real grade.
Okay.
Um, so it's lacking a lot of detail.
Oh, okay.
The real grade demolishes it. Um,
Oh, I bet. I've got I've got almost everything except for the perfect grade. That's why I said I wanted that. I wanted the perfect grade because it rounds out all my kits. I've got the high rim. I've got both the master grades. I've got two of the real grades. Or I got the TV and the custom for real grade. And then in the high grades, I've got Wing Zero and Wing.
mhm. No,
So I think that rounds them out, right? And then only ones I don't have are the no grade 100 and the no grade 144. Those are the only two I don't have.
yeah, and it's based off of the real or the non-grade or the high, yeah, the 1/100 scale.
Yeah, the high grade 100. Okay.
Yeah, which is not a bad kit. At the time, that's what they really imagined him being.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what like as a kid when I put those kits together, because that's what, I was a kid way, way back in the 90s when those kits came out originally. And so those kits were like, I did awful things to those kits, but I still put them together. You know what I mean? Like,
yep, and
I
they were
wasn't
great.
allowed.
They
Yeah,
served what they needed to do. They were,
yes, they did. They
and,
gave. They were
but
awesome.
yeah, the perfect grade. Everybody I've talked to just says it is a perfect grade that you should build at some point, but it
Mm,
needs a 2.0.
all right. Yeah.
So
I mean, I think I have a solution for the for the rubber wing problem. I've got
Yeah,
some I got some paint that melts in when it cures. So that might
yeah,
work. That might
yeah.
be the way to go.
Um, but yeah, and it's just like then you look at like GP01 where it's like only thing you really need to do is chrome out one part, paint the yellow for the Vulcan cannons, and minor detail stuff.
Little blue on some burners.
Yeah, you got to paint the
Yeah,
thrusters.
yeah,
It's like stuff that Bandai doesn't normally do, but you're just like, oh, that's easy.
yeah,
Um, now,
yeah.
if because perfect grades and the real grades, I think need to be compared a lot more.
Yeah.
The real grade GP01, people say it's a hand grenade. I've built it twice. I built a custom or a kit bash of one.
Yeah.
It's not a hand grenade. You just, and I don't think it's like a people don't have the skills. Real grades are just something that you have to measure twice, cut once. You can't
Yeah.
treat them like a high grade. And I feel like um, a lot of those early ones when people were treating them like a complicated high grade, that's what they fell into.
Yeah. Um, I didn't have very many issues when I bought the Freedom. I didn't have too many issues with that. Before we go any further, I'm gonna take a quick moment to do a shout out to our sponsors over at ClarksvilleHobbyDepot.com. Use the discount code WebCOfficial for a discount of 10% off a purchase of $25 or more. And that's for RCs, hobby supplies, diorama supplies, model kits, model cars, model tanks, model trains, model planes, model robots, all that stuff. RC cars, RC boats. I believe there's even some helicopters or some sort of quad copter type of thing over there at ClarksvilleHobbyDepot.com. So head on over there, use that code WebCOfficial. That's all caps with the dash between the B and the C, just like I spell it on the screen. There you go, WebCOfficial. All right, we're done with a little shout out. We can get right back to that. Before we go back to Gunpla, though, I want to ask you, what is your favorite non-mecha cartoon or anime?
Um, so the one that I seem to always keep going back to is I love uh like the old school like 90s Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Inuyasha, Rurouni Kenshin, just like that kind of vibe. Like really before people realized
Those
how
are
to
all,
sell in the West, just like
yeah,
those ones that kind of started everything, especially
yeah.
Inuyasha.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like Inuyasha is like, hey, we can put this manga to a screen and we don't know what to do with the plot, so we'll just keep it on repeat. As long as it sells, we'll keep repeating it. Like,
yeah. I totally get it. Um,
but
that you're right on point. Those are great answers.
my most modern one that I do love is Comey Can't Communicate, um and Squid Girl. But Squid Girl I don't think anybody's ever heard. Um it's a weird slice of life one. Um this little girl, she's half squid, half human, and
All
her
right.
name comes she's lived in like the ocean her entire life, comes up to land to try to take over the world, and she thinks there's like 200 maybe 300 people on the entire planet based
Oh
on the
wow.
trash
Oh
that's
no.
in the sea. Yeah. And she blows a hole through a sushi shop because she there was a fly, and now she works for the sushi shop to repay back her debt for breaking a hole in the wall. And it's about accepting who you are as a person and your heritage as a person, but making the best out of both.
All right. It's got a
It's
message.
yeah, it's like got the super serious like plot like meaning, and then you just like see it and you're like, I can't take this serious. Um Also Nane, I can't ever say it. it's a punk rock one that I've been watching a lot. Mostly because um, a lot of my music, uh, a lot of my music influence is from like the '80s and '90s, and J J pop, so Japanese pop is my. They went in the '90s. As much as Wing is like pop culture and all that kind of stuff with that half English, half Japanese intro, over in Japan at that time, they did that. That was a very common thing, but there was a very hardcore like punk scene that was happening that does it. So I found it and I've kind of liked it because it's just the raw nature of like punk. They never lost. This is gonna sound bad, but like Green Day when they first came out versus Green Day when they were huge and famous, two different bands.
Yes.
Same thing with Blink 182. Whereas in Japan, they never lost sight of where they came from. That hatred, that think of Metallica. The hatred has never. Metallica was formed because they hated Motley Crue. You talk to the band nowadays, who do they still hate? Motley Crue. So the hatred has never stopped, and that's why the music is so good. Is because the core value has always been the same.
Okay.
Sorry, that's
Oh
I'm a
no.
big.
You-
I know we're supposed to be talking about like gunpla, but like music.
no, wherever the conversation leads is a very interesting. Like this is a podcast. This isn't. We ain't on board. You know, we ain't got to stick to the subject. We can veer off when the questions allow us to. You know, that's totally cool. I like it. You're right. I come from that time period where Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, Techno Man, and Shin Chan were very popular. And let's just say Shin Chan would not be allowed in today's climate. Like that would
Neither
not.
would Sailor Moon. Like they
No,
rebooted it.
yeah.
Look how much censorship happened in that series.
Oh
Like
yeah, I mean from the American to the Japanese, or from Japan to America, then from Japan back to America again a second time to try and get it right, and they didn't. They still censored too much the second time around.
yeah, and it's funny because like the second one or the Crystal whatever the newest
Yeah,
one, it's still raunchy. Like it's still like you're like how did this get past? Like
yeah.
oh my god.
Oh yeah. And then well, what's really bad is like okay, so in the Americanized version, they cut out so much that you're just like you're confused. You're like, I missed something. Like right there was something I missed.
My
And now I
favorite
don't.
my favorite scene, and not to sound like a perv, but it literally is my favorite scene in all of Sailor Moon, is the episodes at the end of it when she would take her bath and she would talk about real life topics. That's the entire reason I could put up with 90% of the BS of Sailor Moon was because at the end of the episode, a lot of times she would be in her bath and she would be like, "Man, I hate being on a diet. I'm always hungry." And it would just like cut the episode. And it was that's why I watched the show was because she would say stuff that are very true of like struggles of things that we have to endure as a person.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally
And
get it.
she's just and like the whole shower thoughts, I swear came from her.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, there's a whole bunch of '90s references because shortly after Sailor Moon did it, like there was like there's that Melissa Joan Hart did that show Clarissa Explains It All. And the whole
Yes.
show was basically like a teen drama diary of exactly what you're saying, that shower talk or that bath talk, that
Yeah.
quick moment of, oh, I can't believe that happened and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How am I supposed to save the world when I can't even pass my history quiz? That was another.
Yeah.
I believe that was another one that she said. I know stuff like that, but you it allowed you to connect to the character and you cared about the character, and not to say modern day. I'll pick on one of my favorite ones, like Comey, who doesn't talk. Like she's an interesting character, but only she's an interesting character because of characters like Sailor Moon, Goku. You know what I mean? Like these older ones, and I just wish they would make an anime like they used to. Like even like Hero and Amuro Ray, compare them to like Celeste and Mercury.
Mm, I can't. You know, here's the thing. When Iron Blood came out, I was able to see a lot of Hiro Yui and Duo
Uh-huh.
Maxwell in Mikazuki. Okay. I saw a lot of that in there. But I also saw the emotionlessness of other types of characters infused into Mikazuki as well, because throughout the show you realize that he doesn't care about anything except for one person really in the entire
Yeah,
thing. And I'm just like, okay, we get that. But, Mika shows that he's loyal. He's a loyal person.
yeah. He's a suit. He's a soldier.
Yeah.
He's a soldier at the end of the day, and
Oh yeah.
I like comparing Amuro Ray to Soletta Mercury because they're kind of forced to be soldiers, but at their core, the characters they're not soldiers. Let's be honest. Here, Yui was genetically
Yeah, he's
he was gen-
basically a new type.
well, no, he's even worse than a new type. He was genetically altered at like in the womb, like that scientist that he followed, that he was messing with embryos like
Oh,
right yeah, it gets really messed up with him. But
so that must be like deeper off into the story than just the anime and stuff.
yes, it's
Okay.
like yeah, it's way deeper. It's like there's an iceberg, and what ends up happening um is that scientist, who I swear is the true villain of the series. He's the
Uh-oh. I think Jason got a phone call. He'll be right back with us. Everybody having a great night? I'm having a great night. Uh-oh. We'll see if he catches back up. It'll be okay. We're just gonna wait for him to come back. I know he'll come back. So we're having a great day. Mrs. Websey and everybody. I went and got my competition build back so I can show everybody my amazing competition build that I built. So Jason will be back, don't worry. It'd be a great time for us to talk about our friends at hobbydepot.com. Go to clarksvillehobbydepot.com. Use that code WebCOfficial for a discount of 10% off a purchase of $25 or more. Go to clarksvillehobbydepot.com. Use code WebCOfficial. Yo, with the web and the dash and the C, they call me Web C. That's the way you use the code, you see. With the official, all capital, with the dash between the B and the C, just like you see it on the screen. All right, I'm done. All right, you made it back.
oh yeah, I'm so sorry, my phone died. Didn't give me a warning that it was gonna die. It just was like, I'm gonna die now.
It happens.
Makes everything so much more. But yeah, so to go back to where I was, so like here Yui was genetically altered to be the super soldier that he becomes. Uh, that guy also made the tall geese. Like he was the moving force of like, hey, you want to turn right? Let's turn left. Like, and so also I think the true hero of Wing, and I'm the only person that thinks this, is Trace Kusanada. Because if you look at Trey's on what he was trying to do, he was trying to make uh, battles more like honorable. Like anybody can go into combat, but like send your best soldier out to fight the opponent's best soldier. Whoever wins, there you go. End of story. The human aspect of battle.
Okay. Cool.
Like, and yes, the mobile dolls make everything so much more complicated, but I
Oh,
think
they do.
that's a whole thing. And I wish that Witch of Mercury went back to that. Um,
So I have a feeling that if they would have continued on into maybe a third season, they would have maybe come up with that. But because it's naturally progressing, and that's the only way to take down a Gundam is to overwhelm it. You know, like
uh-huh.
the natural progression, and that's what happens. Like we see that also. There's another series where they start using drones instead of using actual human piloted suits. I'm not sure if it's IBO or if it's in Gundam Seed.
I think it's Seed.
Okay, could be in Seed, but they use like these mind piloted drones in one of them, and then the other one they're just AI piloted. Um, and so they don't. It's not the first time they've come up with that, like in Wing. So like when they did it in Wing, I liked how they did it in Wing because they made it almost out. It was definitely they pushed for it to be like out of necessity. Like we have no choice but to create this monstrosity of a machine and
Yes. Well,
unleash it on everything.
the thing that I found out with the Zero system recently, and we actually see it almost succeed. So
Yeah,
it this is just something I was reading up on it. The Zero system, if it deems you unfit to pilot it, and we see it with Ketra, it will consume you and you will
yeah,
become its puppet.
right.
That's why Ketra blows up the space colony.
Yeah. Well, that's what Catcher does. He does more than that, but yeah, we'll go
Well,
there.
yeah, he does a lot more in that battle than just that. But that is that wasn't Ketra.
No,
And
he
you
was
see that,
definitely. You saw him. They showed the moment where the Zero system glazed him over, and you knew. You
yeah,
just knew.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what it will do after that point, if Hiro Yui didn't get in there, it would have caused him to have a heart attack and a stroke at the same time. So Ketra is no longer a thing, and now the Zero system replants its what it wants onto the that body, and then uses it as a husk,
Mm.
which is 15 times messed up to Saturday, but like
Oh yeah, that's a
that is a whole different series in itself. Like, oh my gosh, like makes everything that happens in like most series like cherries on the cake. Like we can eat this all day long. Like that is beyond messed up. And uh yeah, that was finding that out on the fandom. I was like, oh,
yeah.
okay, this your system like notably get I get why they nerf it in like all other medias because it is
I, that just makes me wonder how much of a precursor is the Zero system to the Valia Mignana of Iron Blood then, because I
I feel like
mean
the
you could
Veo
use the
Villana
Zero system as the trap to suck in a human soul, basically.
um the Veo Villana system, think of it as like making a contract with a devil.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Oh yeah.
The Gundams are they're called devils. There's a whole lot of symbolism in there, right?
Oh yeah,
But
yeah. There sure is.
the Zero system is even worse because with the Van Villana system, you can stop it at any point.
I don't know. You
You
can't say
can,
that with Vidar.
yeah,
There's a soul trapped inside that machine.
yes, and that does. But like, think of Barbatos. Mikazuki can detach it at any time.
He
Like after
could.
yes, it has its physical, like you can't see out of an eye, all that stuff. It
Mhm.
slowly devours you, and you can have people reason with you. The Zero system, once it's started, it
I can
has to be
imagine
the
there's no
one to
stop.
say, yeah, you have to be the one that says it's okay to turn it off. Or yeah, it has to say it's okay to be turned off. Not you. It is in full control, and that's what makes Hero such an amazing pilot. Is he can battle this system that literally can just decide you're not fit for it and kill you, or you can tame it, and even then, is it letting you tame it so that it can let you lower your guard down? Like, there's so many levels of like complication with it, and the Vavilana system is very, very scary. Not to downplay it, like
No,
that
no,
is.
they're both two very, very, very crazy systems and developed very, like that's why I said like it seems as though like one could help the other in some
Yeah,
sick kind of way. Like you would not want a Barbatos Zero. That would not be good.
or
Or a wing with a Valea. Ooh,
the one that I've always wanted to see is a Zero hopped up on the Trans Am system.
all right. So we are scrolling right now doing Clarksville Hobby Depot. Got that scrolling there. Websy Official is the discount code. It'll get you 10% off a purchase of $25 or more. And all right, that's all. It's been up for like it's been up for a minute. I was just like letting you finish up with that.
No, it's
And there we
but
go.
yeah, the Exia system, the Trans Am system with the Zero system, because of the
Ooh,
exit, the there's a threshold of like when the exam, um we see it in build divers. You can turn it on for like a little bit and then turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. You can do manipulations like that. How the Zero system would actually handle the Trans Am system from Double O.
ooh, that's an interesting concept.
Though I think the pilot will die
Well,
by
yeah.
the end of the 3 seconds. Like,
I
there's
don't
no
think you're
doubt about
gonna.
it. Think about it. You're gonna pump 7 times the speed that here you could barely handle into your brain.
Yeah,
It makes the Leo blowing up every single episode look like.
yeah. That's one of the one things that they don't do a good job with in Gundam is the G's, the physical G's that those suits would be putting on the human piloting them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing they don't account for in those in Gundam. Only plot hole they ever talk about.
Um,
Oh man.
or the
But
fact that they can cause gravity in space.
yeah,
Um, so I don't know what the speed is. I don't think they know. But I'm looking across my office at a mobile armor, the Nazio. It's the one that was in Gundam Battle Assault. If you guys ever played it, that doesn't have legs. It was also in Stardust Memory. It's the only mobile armor to attack a Xeon warship, which is a big deal because it betrays Xeon. But anyways, it can cause 8 G's of force to the pilot in space. The thing can't enter Earth's atmosphere because the thrusters have such a hard time. But think about that. That thing is in absolute the vacuum of space, and it can
that's all.
thrust so hard that it causes not only gravity to happen, but 8 times the gravitational pull that the Earth does.
That's awesome. I like
Yeah,
it.
I don't know what the speeds are, but that is
That's a
crazy.
that's a mobile space station right there.
Um, and the funny thing is the Nazio was not designed for combat, even though it is very much a combat oriented mobile suit. It was made to grab asteroids and help build the
Yeah,
like the space colonies.
yeah. I think I know.
Boom, mind blown. But yeah,
Very mind blowing. Um, which Gundam series do you relate to the most?
um, this is gonna sound really corny, but any of the build series.
Oh, really? That's a new answer from that's a very new answer. Um, cool, cool. Build series is a great series. I've only watched a few episodes. I like the series definitely for the kits that came out in the series. Like it very much so broke open the word I try not to use it anymore, but let's try customizing. It broke open the world of customization of Gunpla because
Mhm.
before I feel like Gundam was very strict. Gundams had this like very like builders are very uptight about customization, and I feel like in the last few like maybe decade here that it's gotten better because my experience, locally, not being able to associate online with Gundam so much, but the local people that are around here, there's a lot of what do you call them? Purists. There you go. They're like purists. Like if the manual says you put the sticker here, you put the sticker here. You don't put that sticker anywhere else. You put it where the manual says you put it.
And that, and I have a very opposite because I don't have local people.
Okay. Yeah. This is
I The rules aren't written in a Pierce mind for me because there's such a
right.
the, inter- the internet is so flipped from the purist standpoint.
Yes.
And
It is, but it's what I mean. Like
yeah,
there really are those purist builders and stuff, and so that's what I was always around growing up in my area and wanting to share my customization ideas or my thoughts on making custom builds. People don't want to see them.
yeah, no, I
Or didn't.
fully,
Nowadays people do want to see that stuff. They want to know those things. Hey, how'd you do that? What was your process? It's like,
yeah,
oh, yeah,
um, yeah, and I love the customization, but like even more so the social aspect of the build series and the celebration of just Gunpla. Oh, let's say your favorite Gundam is, we talked about it before and a little bit, but it was sounds like it's the Wing. Awesome.
it's in the top one. Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite is the Ariel.
Okay.
Those two
Ariel.
mobile suits,
Yeah.
those two mobile suits have like nothing in common.
Nope.
But because of the build series, we have common grounds
Right.
of those two mobile suits. And that's what's beautiful is like it bridges that whole like, and I see it every now and then, UC and everybody else. Like you have the UC guys that just want to build nothing but UC, and then you have everybody else who wants to incorporate UC into the builds, or they don't do UC stuff, right?
Right.
Everybody, and the build series puts a bridge in between those, where it's like, hey, I can respect you built the RX-78 high grade, and you did it beautifully. You airbrushed it, you made it look amazing. Hey, look, oh, this person um customized the RX-78 to look like the unicorn.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know what I mean? Like it allows both creators their time and place. And
Exactly.
that's what, and yes, the whole like GBN and all that kind of stuff being on online, that's how I view Gunpla. There is no local hobby shop for me. Um the local hobby shop I have in town scalded me because I painted a Warhammer 40K Sisters of Battle as a as an Ultramarine, saying I destroyed the model. So I do know the purist mind take, but it's just like who really cares at the end of the day? The model kit looks good.
Yeah.
I,
Like
and I feel like Bandai's been doing a great job of fixing that.
Bandai. Bandai does do a great job. They do a great job of giving me ideas to build things. So
I feel like they gave me too many ideas. Which one's that?
this is it's an Ironblood Orphan kit armor with a core Gundam inside of it.
Oh, that's super cool.
So this is my idea of what I call customizing for. I like to take the Ironblood Orphan kits and turn them into armors for core Gundams. So I've done this more than one time. I've done it a few times. I also did one that isn't a IBO frame. Somebody challenged me to do a non-IBO kit bash. It was
I'm just gonna say this: the Core Gundam, I don't understand it, but anytime I see a armor for it, I'm just like, where do you even start? Because that looks gorgeous.
Yeah, that was hard. That was really hard. I mean, answering that question, where do you start? You break it down. I find a picture of the armor and a picture of a core Gundam, and then I come up with the color I want, the colorway, which is usually one light color, two dark colors, or two light colors, one dark color. And then after I come up with the colorway, I decide what I want to focus on for the build. If I want it to be heavy in the leg modification, if I want to have a cool backpack mod, all those things, I focus on those. Get those narrowed down to how I want to build those, and then you just take the two kits that you get, you know, and you slowly start figuring out which backpack's gonna work better, which backpack's gonna hold up better and stuff like that on the core Gundam.
I like it.
You see,
It's super cool.
oh,
Are you
that's
doing it with the Penelope?
what? I am not
I
holding the Penelope. I'm holding an empty box. Hold on. I'm
No, no, no,
looking
no.
through.
I thought you did it with a Core Gundam. You put a Penelope in a Core Gundam. I was like, hold up.
Oh, I wish. I
There's
wish.
already an inner Gundam to that thing.
Those are
Like,
parts too. Oh, I've, I've got like I've got. This is how I store my Gunpla. Here we
oh,
go.
okay,
So
gotcha.
let's see. He is not in this one. I don't see
Um,
him in this one. I got another box though, so don't worry. Uh, but there are some cool kits in here. None of them really
I
kit
will
bad.
say, I will say, I do hope we get more EcoPlus. I love that line.
Oh,
I don't know if we
shaking that.
built one yet.
All right, let's see. Oh, here's my. I was wondering what happened to that guy. Here is a simpler kit bash with the core Gundam. This is my simplest version of a kit bash with him.
Okay, it's
So,
super sweet.
it's super like it. I did it without painting. So one of the challenges I give myself is, can you do a kit bash, make it look legit without painting it? And that's one of my challenges that I just like started practicing and practicing, and that's where I got. So it's a Titans color core Gundam. And then I can't remember the name, but it's a Titans. It's an AUG Titans kit, high grade kit.
It looks
But
like
it's
the Mark
not.
II
It's not. It
or
looked.
the
Yeah. Now
MK2.
it looks like the Mark II. But I want not the Tristan. No. Um. Oh, it's the heavy boy. It's the big heavy boy. Like the legs give it away. Like if you know what those legs are, you know what kit this came from. Um.
I gotcha.
Anyways, I built it to where like everything still comes off of this guy, I believe. Like yeah, so like you can take the shoulder pads off.
I do that a lot with with like my custom like kit bashes and all that kind of
Yep.
stuff. I just want to be able to bring it back to um its natural form if I can.
Right. And so yeah, it still becomes the core Gundam. Like the core Gundam is still the thing.
That's
That whole process. So that's one of the things that I focus on too. Is if the gimmick is that the armor comes off and on the kit, that's got to still be part of the gimmick when you're putting it together and finalizing it. I agree. It makes for a great build. Like I used a little chrome pen or chrome marker or whatever just to give them some flair all throughout the kit to make it all match evenly. And
yeah.
after you're done with that, it's pretty simple. Um, and then here's like kind of like a customization without core Gundam that I've done. This is my Master Chief build
Nice.
from Halo.
Uh, love
So
it. I will say your black and green one that you showed that you just did,
oh, you want to see that one again? I can bring it
reminds
back
me a
up.
lot of the EcoPlus.
Oh yeah, I really want to get one of those. Those are cool. They just haven't shown up in my area. This is a custom gun.
Oh, I'm back, I think.
Yes. Oh,
Okay, I'm back. But
there
yeah,
you go.
that guy looks beautiful. Let me grab the aerial. So I am still. I need to sit down and make my white panel liner. Make sure I have enough for it before I start doing this again. But I need to panel line it still. But here is the Ecopla of aerial.
Give me a second. I'll see it on my computer screen at like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I still
Yes.
need to do the white on the black panel liner, but this
That is
was
cool.
yeah, and to think it's made out of all recycled plastic
I like
is
that even
just
more.
yeah, and like the plastic, it's got like a glossy feel to it, but it's also like a little matted, so it feels good in your hands,
Oh,
and
so it's like slightly muted.
but still glossy at the same time. It's
Yeah. Okay.
and like building it, I enjoyed it more than the retail one,
Okay.
and
Cool.
it's still just a retail aerial at the end of the day, just black. And I was the first one to post it on TikTok, one of these, and I'm so happy that
Nice.
yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know if that means I get kudo points or anything or whatever, but
So-
that's it. It's such a fun kit, and I've built um, every single aerial variation except for the full mechanics and the clear version.
cool.
So yeah, I'm a big aerial fan. Um, and it was pretty funny when all the controversy was happening on it.
I
Because I'm just like
I
looking at my collection of aerials and I'm like,
I
and your
stayed
point is?
far away from those conversations as I could.
I like literally looked at all my aerials and I'm like, it doesn't
And then
change
when
that
I
I think I still love the aerial. Like,
yep.
what do you guys want?
And then when I finally piped in and said what the story was actually about, nobody liked it. Everybody was like, "That's not no," and they went back and reviewed it, and they were like, "You're right. You're so right." I was like, "You're conflating one little issue when the grander scheme of things is this," and they were like, "Oh." I was like, "So
My
chill out."
my biggest problem with Witch of Mercury is even in today's world, it's not necessarily a crime, but it is definitely like a hot topic. So let
Oh
us a
yeah.
test tube baby.
Well, she's more than that.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like that is a and we're not questioning that at all. Like we're not
Yeah, we don't want to have this conversation. We got
like
clones. Attack of the clones, right?
and then there's another faction that's doing spinal transplant and brain transplants. Like that is but yeah, we want to debate about the mech that could not exist. Okay.
The
Okay.
imaginary relationships. I
Right.
know, right? Here is my first ever master grade in custom.
I love it.
It was red.
So you did a blue frame conversion?
Yeah. So I wanted it to kind of look like it was a blue frame that had lost half of the blue as it re-entered like atmosphere or
I
whatever.
love it.
So when you get up close, it's like got a silver tone to it. So it's not fully blue. I should do some really up. I should probably do a new photo shoot with this kid. It's been a couple of years. I've had him in the storage, but yeah, I got the sword matches.
I love it.
So
Love it. Chef's kiss. I will say my new like model. That's not model kit, but my new obsession of building. Let me grab her. I'm building guitars.
The what?
I'm building guitars.
Guitars. I like guitars.
Yeah. So this is my newest creation. It's a semi-hollow Les Paul.
Ooh,
Painted it, stained it. It did come from a kit, but installed everything that you see I have worked on. So
nice.
yep.
I like that.
Recently I just spray painted the top of the headstock to be a matte
Okay.
black and installed tuners
Ooh,
and gave it a finish. So I'm almost done. There's a couple of little things that I need to do, like a decal, which I just ordered. Uh, and oddly enough, the only place I could find it was on AliExpress, so that's gonna take forever.
that's just a whole bunch of craftsmanship right there.
Yeah, and and that being said, I'll show you my newest. Just like Gunpla, you never stop.
Oh no.
So here's my newest project, um, and it color shifts.
Color?
Yep, it goes from purple to green, and there's some blue in the middle. But yeah, and the back is matte black. So yeah, this is what I start with.
Oh wow.
Well, I should
I
say I
like
start with just bare wood, but yeah, this is what I've been working on,
I like that a lot.
and also why I'm not building Gundams all that much right now, because
Hey, that's so cool.
these guys take a lot of time to work on.
Lots of dry time, I bet, huh?
A lot of drive time, a lot of planning, a lot of like debating, asking people, throwing everything out the window, cussing. There's a lot of that. A lot of late nights where I'm not even with them, but once it happens, it's something like this, and it looks very very beautiful. Um, like we were discussing, should I leave the grain in the wood? Should I not? It's a bunch of like that talk. At the end of the day, there is no right answer, but what's the right answer?
So I turned the sword into a flight unit for him.
Nice.
I don't know if everybody likes it when people do that, but
I do.
it makes sense.
Yep.
I added some. Oh, the one custom thing is I took two turbochargers from a model car and I put it on his backpack, so he's got turbos.
He's twin slugged.
Yep, he's twin select. So I thought it was funny.
Oh, dude, I'm laughing on the inside. I love it too.
This is
Uh, but yeah, so that's what I do. That's what I've been working on. Been streaming a lot of music lately.
music.
Mostly because I want to take my music career so much more serious. Um,
Awesome.
Not to say Gunpla isn't a serious hobby and like a serious career thing, but
No. Music is a serious thing. I take music seriously. So
yeah,
that's
there. And I do want to get back into building. It's just I want I want to put out an album in my lifetime. And I'm just like looking at I have my two sons, and I want to be in the recorded studio so that if they ever do want to go into music, I know what to do and help them out.
yeah.
And I'm also racing against the clock of like, let's be honest, Ozzy doesn't have that much more time on this planet. Slash doesn't have that much more time on this planet. Zach Wild, same thing. I could go down the list of these guys that are been playing music 50 plus years that
Yeah.
are my influence. And when they die, like their recordings are still going to be there, but nobody can ask them the questions of like that I want to ask. So
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
I'm
I
asking the
agree,
questions
bro.
now before they die, and that's that's another pull to music of like
It's
I'm
also
talking
hard
to
to,
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
hard to get access. Yep,
Yeah. And so
feel that.
I will say I've been starting to play show sober, so that's a new thing. Um
Cool.
yeah. But yeah, that's that.
Yeah, I
Oh,
never did rock and roll.
I
Rock
can
and roll.
show I can show most of my guitars. Hold up. So that one is Amber. That's my newest build. That's Callie. That's Pearl. That's my Gibson Les Paul Custom. This is like my slash one. Amber's she's a think Foo Fighters is what I usually that kind of vibe. Like she can play rock, but you're not gonna like take her out and play metal on her, though she could. Down
Okay.
here, down here, I have um. Oh my gosh, this is a lot harder to do than I thought it would be. Um, just grab it. So here's Midnight. This is my prop guitar. This one's been on fire. This is my mellow guitar. Um, I do play Metallica quite often on it. Master of Puppets quite a lot. That's why the neck is like no longer a thing. Um, this is my oldest guitar. This is Jess. She was meant to be a backup guitar for Callie, but I just can't get rid of her now because she's a beautiful guitar in her own right. I usually use her to play like classic songs, like anything by Hendrix, um, Mississippi Queen, that kind of vibe.
Nice.
Then my first build I ever did, and this girl I use whenever I need a Floyd Rose. And the reason why it's called Phoenix is I had an old SG that even predates Jazz, but it broke on a headstock break and everything had to be thrown out. Kept the electronics, and that's how I got her. So yeah. Oh, and then in my room I have a 12 string that's named Johnny.
Ooh, cool.
He's a big acoustic. I played Johnny Cash stuff on him.
I
Sorry.
figured that's what that was coming from.
Yeah, he's a
Johnny.
black guitar. He was sold for beer money. He's his own vibe. Like you know what I mean. Like he's lived
Nice.
a hard life. Uh, I traded him, and then he came back. So he's sticking with me now. But yeah, that's my guitar collection. And then I have the Stratocaster that I'm building. But
Cool.
yeah.
I don't have I can show you what I do besides Gundams.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot. There is one last guitar. My. Oh, you paint or you
Yeah,
draw?
it's upside down. Ah,
Awesome. That is
yeah,
so
I paint.
beautiful.
So I'm an amateur.
So I forgot this Les Paul. This fits in Gundam hands. I 3D printed
Ooh.
it. Yeah. And this is my Facebook Marketplace USA made Les Paul. I know what I have. Don't no low ballers guitar.
That's hilarious. Oh yeah, color's great too.
Yes. Um it's my mean like little thing, but Joey Ganoda posted a video of your love, and he was like China started like a ban like with everybody using Gunpla. And what I
Okay.
did is I 3D printed that little guitar, painted it up, and I put it in Leo's hand and made it look like it was playing guitar. And that's why I have it. But it is the funniest guitar of all of them. I'm like, if that thing ever breaks, I'm gonna cry. The other ones, I'll shed a tear. But that one is like the funny. I even made it on my stand. I made it a little hanger so I can hang it up on the wood. Um, so yeah, just to show you, like it truly has like a little hanger.
Hold on.
It's made from Gunpla. Yeah, it's made from Gunpla like runners. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Um, just just
Okay,
just
finally got the video. Nice.
I'm just a kid with who's a dad of two kids, of two sons who has a cell phone and figure out what TikTok was.
Yeah, I'm new to TikTok that way, kind of too. Um, just hit my first, like, my 1 year mark. I just hit that.
It's a
So
beautiful thing, isn't it?
it is. It is. It's super awesome. And I've been part of social media forever, but yeah, hitting that 1 year on TikTok felt good. It was just like 2 days ago. It was cool. Like,
Yeah, I'll say Facebook was. I tried Facebook for a while. Not gonna lie, I'm not a Facebook. I just don't have the face. Like,
it's not a. I mean, Facebook isn't like a. It's not a TikTok type thing.
yeah,
Okay,
it's a whole different energy.
YouTube is hard. It's hard to build on YouTube, but I found that once you get your following going on YouTube, those 100 people, those 200 people, they're really loyal. They'll come back and watch every one of your videos. So they're pretty awesome.
That's good to know. I'll give
Yeah,
YouTube another try.
yeah. Because I'm at 104 followers. I've been on YouTube for 4 years now, producing Gundam videos. I've been on YouTube for over 8 years or something like that total, like having an account and everything.
Hmm.
And when I first started my YouTube account, I was horrible. I was a bad person. I was doing just the dumbest things, making horrible comments and all sorts of stuff. And Gundam is like I tried to turn my account around with Gundam is what I was doing, and
Gotcha.
showing people that I'm not like a jerk. You know what I mean? So
I
that's what
100%. I hear that.
that's what I did with Gun, and then I just kept doing Gundam. I kept sticking with it and kept posting, and I eventually did a whole bunch of crazy stuff in between here and there, and now I'm here and I'm still doing Gundams. So it's pretty cool.
Love it.
I was for a while an admin for a Facebook group that I'm no longer an admin with, but I do still hang out there and post and stuff, but I just
I
stopped.
somehow became an admin for a Facebook one.
Which one?
Uh, Gundam Builders USA.
Gundam Builders USA. Okay, I may have heard one of them.
Um, it's mostly a super chill one, but I'll be honest, I am worse than a blind person.
Makes
Like,
sense.
like I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I was given the powers, and they're like, "Hey, you do social media. You should know this." And I'm like, "No."
No, Facebook's totally different than other things. Like, yeah. I was on Kit Bash Gundam as an admin,
Okay.
and they're a pretty cool site. But yeah, same thing. It was a lot of daily checks and stuff, and searching for bots and bad posts. It just got boring and old, and it wasn't. It was taking the passion out of building Gunpla for me and stuff. Like I was just like. Because I had to keep stopping what I was doing and looking at all this other stuff when I was trying to like
Yeah.
build a model. Like I
The
got this
the most I
competition.
do, the most I do for them is in like the little chat. Hello? Anybody there?
Yeah.
Hello?
How's it going? Are we
Hey,
going? Where are we going?
hey, are you guys a bunch of zombies? Did you find the brains? Like, can you share?
Yep.
Like,
What are we doing? Yeah.
yeah. So,
I dropped the random picture post just to see if people either more people will drop pictures or people will start commenting on the picture. That's the goal, right?
yep.
So
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm just like, will this work? If so, cool. If not, well, we shot in the dark. Pro
yeah,
tip: don't post memes
no, don't post memes.
because the remix of the meme is going to be far better than what you thought your meme was going to be.
Mine's
Every
kind of hard to remix. It's a picture of Hiro Yui clicking the button saying, "I'm Hiro Yui and welcome to Jackass."
Okay, that one's pretty funny. The one that I I posted the thing where he tells Relina, "I'm gonna kill you,"
Oh no.
and somebody reposted it, and I was dying laughing. I was like, "Oh my god!" I thought I was funny, but he rips up the invitation and wipes her tear, right?
Yeah.
And she goes, and he's like, "I feel sorry for you." She goes, "Why?" "I didn't use toilet paper to clean up my when I went number two." I was dying laughing. I was like, "Good God,
That's
somebody went
savagery.
there."
That's savagery.
Right? I'm like, God, apparently I'm not good at making memes.
No. I just made mine hard to change. That's all. But
Yeah, how do you top?
yeah, you just reply with the splat from Mercury. Watch this.
Oh
Okay.
no, this is so good. Like these guys who can make these killer memes. I'm just like, oh, I envy you because like that's a craft in its own. I'm not.
I uh I was one of the first people to make the meme with the stormtrooper praying. It says, "Forgive me, Lord, for I have missed."
That one's pretty good. The one that I made was pretty good was the guilty 34 times, and it's Soletta's Mercury's mom, and she's like almost like a pedestal, like, "Hey, look at what I did."
Oh no. I'll have to go look for that.
It's on my TikTok, and I had like sat there and I was like, when it was first happening, like everybody doing the guilty, I'm like, it's gonna hit Gundams, it's gonna hit Gundams, it's gonna hit Gundam. So I did Armor Array, like, hey guys, I think you guys can go wild with this. Like, here's the water, right? And nobody in Gundam was doing it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go hit the big button. Let's go hit the girl. And still nobody's really doing it. I'm like, should I just put on blast everybody in Gundam? Like do Shard next? But but my account on TikTok, I have a hard time with trends. I can only do one trend every other week. Otherwise, my all my videos start getting flagged with unoriginal.
Oh, because I like your because you're playing music and stuff.
No, that's my violation. Is I'm unoriginal.
Unoriginal.
I don't. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I got done
Like,
with
how do
my
you?
high grade build that I was doing live over there yesterday, and I made him do a little dance and I sang a little song, and I got a violation for it. And I was like, how? You know, like this it was
No, no,
supposed to be
no.
comical. It wasn't supposed to be.
Think about that. I got marked on TikTok for being unoriginal. When the 90% of TikTok is the same thing.
Oh yeah, no. That's the ironicness of that. I mean, I would have just replied to them, "Man or bear." That's what I would have put in my appeal. I would have just been like, "Man or bear."
No, you want to hear what I put in my appeal? How am I supposed to say this? 6 inches away from the mirror now.
Oh no, 6 inches from the mirror. That's where I tell myself dirty secrets. Oh, I mean, shh, don't tell nobody else. La la la.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Definitely know what you mean.
Well, it was, dude. I still laugh. Like every single time and it's funny because they'll let me if you go to your following page and you follow me, my videos will still pop up there. But
Oh,
on the FIP, when I get flagged for it, it won't show up. And they're very precise about it, like in the violations. And then like when it gets done in appeal, they tell me how it's working, and I'm like, you do understand we're talking about TikTok here, guys.
yes. Like I
I
oh
don't
man.
I don't know if I'm supposed to take you serious And then when I go look at my analytics on those videos, 71% for you page still. I don't know.
I look at my analytics and I sometimes I want to cry.
Don't
Oh, is it?
here's a pro tip. Don't ever look at your analytics unless you're going to look at your analytics because you're looking for a laugh.
Well,
Like,
here's my laugh. Um, uh, it said my likes were up 51,000% on one
yes,
of my lives. That was like hilarious for me. I was like, wow. I was like, you actually calculated that? I was like, that's insane. Because
exactly.
I was
Exactly.
like, that's insane.
Do do that. But if you go to those analytics like in a depressed state or how can I improve with the numbers? It I've done it more times than anything. Your next video is going to be garbage. But if you go into those and you're like, I need to laugh, and you look at those like crazy numbers or like mine where it's got the crazy violations, and then you look at it and it's like a joke of a violation, you're going to be bawling laughing. And then the next video does rides that laughter, and then boom, more people are looking at it, and it's like
Right.
that's my and I think that's with any social media. If you look at your analytics looking for a laugh, your next video will be so much better. That's just my advice for everybody. And
So I don't really ever find anything to give me any good advice on there though. I'm basically doing everything I'm supposed to. Don't say too much. Don't.
here's my logic on content creating. I do what I want. You like it? Cool. If you don't, cool. If it's too
Right?
raunchy, I will go to a different website.
Oh,
Eh,
yeah. So
you
I'm on every social media I can be on at one time. So I don't know. I just get tired of clicking the button after a while, and I'll just go, okay, which one are we gonna be on today? Like,
right?
and I'll just stick to it for a day, and I'll not go to any of the other ones all day.
But yeah, that's my favorite one. Is being like, I will go to the one that GTA promotes all day long. If my content's too raunchy, I don't care. I do what I want.
I've heard this before somewhere. This phrase is not new.
Or my favorite one is um and I did this. So I got the violation for being unoriginal, right?
That still tickles.
Save
It
the video.
does. I'm sorry, it
Save
tickles.
the video. Posted it on the other site. Went crazy wildfire with those. And I'm like, TikTok, you don't know what you're missing, bro. Uh, but yeah, I should post the guilty one to YouTube. See how that one goes.
Definitely. Um, Jesus. I don't know. We've gone way past my deadline for the day, so we're good. We can do whatever. Um, I don't really have any more questions. It's been a great interview.
Oh, pro tip, guys.
Yeah.
I will say I'm probably one of the only people that I know of that does this. So I'm gonna pick on the unicorn mode. I see
So
everybody panel line that thing with black sharp or black panel liner, and you're not wrong for doing that. But hear me out. Try mechanical pencil. The gray matte of it will look really good on it. Also, it looks really good on any white surfaces and on like the gray parts. You just go over it a couple more times and it gives it a real cool like finish. But don't discount fountain pens.
fountain pens.
Fountain pens are notably known for filling in cracks, and that's why they were phased out for the ballpoint pen. Listen, listen to like history of like the evolution of like our materials. There is stuff that is long forgotten about that does the job, but at that time they didn't want it to do that job that we want the results of.
Unicorn.
Yeah. Yeah. So you understand like the whole like using the little gray mechanical pencil.
I think I did something like that on this one.
Also, mechanical pencil is really cheap to replace. Once,
Yeah, if you look right there, I did that line right there. That's
uh-huh.
mechanical. I don't think I used mechanical pencil. What I think I used was a fine point Sharpie.
Sharpie works too. That's going to give you a whole different look too.
Yep.
But just give it a shot. That's all. And what got me onto mechanical pencil um was the guy that does all the box art poses. Like on the model kits, if you look at the high grades, master grades, anytime you see a model kit, the guy that did that does those. Um, he's the guy that I learned that from, and that's what they do in Japan a lot of times.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's where you perfectly pose the Gundam in front of the box to make it look like it's on the box, right?
Not even that.
Oh, I like that style though. I thought it was
Yep,
cool.
the guy who did these two. Um, there's interviews of him in Japan, and he talks about doing panel lining like in all these different ways. And mechanical pencil is like one of his favorite ways to do on model kits that are mostly white. So anytime you see a Gundam, he does it. And he does, and then he airbrushes it over white, and it gives it that like super dark black. There's tricks to it, but like that's where you start.
It's good tricks.
Yep. Um. Also, I will say, anytime you do see a beam saber, even in modern day kits, he still airbrushes it. So
Oh, yeah.
anytime yeah.
I've
Um.
I've airbrushed recently. I did do my own actually. I have I have like a metallic red paint that works really good for doing that.
Um. Well, yeah. So like this one, he airbrushed it with like a clear coat on the RX-78 high grade to make it even more shiny.
Oh, I know what you're talking. Like a candy enamel.
No, no, just clear coat gloss. He goes over the
Oh,
top of it to even make it even brighter.
oh, okay.
But
No,
yeah,
I
it
actually took like a lacquer and like changed it from pink to a metallic pink.
yeah, you could do stuff like that too. But
Yeah.
yeah, if that guy's just that's my biggest um you can also see him there's a YouTube video called How to Build a Master Grade. He's like the same dude, he's like in a luchador outfit.
Cool.
Some of those things I don't agree with, like how he just like bird's eye shots, one shots, doesn't measure anything, and puts like detail parts into the kits. But he's been doing it for so long, he doesn't need to measure out anything. He knows what it should look like. But there's some really great advice in there, and that's where I learned how to build was from that video.
Cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
um, and it's also kind of funny because you know what tools he's using? It ain't God hands.
was he using a toenail clipper?
Nope.
Oh, well, he loses
He's
toenails.
using the entry grade
Oh,
nippers
okay.
from Bandai,
Oh, okay. Cool.
and still to this day, he builds better than most people do with the God hands.
I'm I'm pretty sure. God hands aren't a perfect. Like
No.
they're not perfect. Like that unicorn that I have hanging up on my workstation, that full armor real grid. I built that without a or without the God hand nipper. I didn't have a single blade nipper at all. I was using the blue handle cheap generic one from Amazon, the two blade uh car stereo wire nipper, like
Yeah, I
I
use
use
that.
that. But I sanded the heck out of it. I spent like 2 weeks sanding every part on that kit. Like, so,
Yeah, and I
yeah,
will say, God hands really do help out with cleanup.
they do.
But at the end of the day, they're not replacing what you need to do.
No, no, you still have to double check each one of those cuts and make sure they're nice and sand them, file them, polish them, buff them. If anything, just please use one of these. Just use a balancer. It doesn't matter if it's a 25-cent balancer or a $45 balancer. I don't care. A balancer. It
I will
really
say, if you're
does
spending
work.
$45 on a bouncer, this one is like you get a pack of them for like three of them for like $15.
I
The
get of these ones that I just showed. I got 12 of them for $10.99.
Yeah, like
So
the gum primer one should be the most expensive one out there.
yeah.
If it's more expensive than this, I have to question because this guy, seriously, this side will make it just like the model kit, that semi gloss, and you flip it over here and you want glass, it will make glass.
Oh yeah. That's the same thing this does. This
Yeah.
does that same thing.
And this glass file will actually eat plastic.
Huh?
I did a whole kit where I just used this to cut the parts out.
Nice.
So,
That's pretty cool. I
yeah,
like it.
those are like, I would deem, if you're spending more than what those guys cost, we got to have a talk.
I'm not. Nope. Well,
Like,
just the whole thing is like I still haven't dedicated myself or given myself permission to be like, yes, we're gonna buy that. So I was like, no, I have these really cheap tools that work really
yeah,
good. I'm happy with
I
my cheap
love cheap
tools.
tools, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
if the cheap tool does better than the most expensive tool, why are you spending your money on the most expensive tool that doesn't have a lifetime warranty? That
Right.
is like the difference between a Snap-on tool and a Craftsman tool. They're both
Uh,
amazing tools. They both have lifetime warranties. Why spend your money on the Snap-on when there is a Craftsman
there
built?
are a few tools that I do have to argue that like I can't live without. Like my push broach. I can't live without this push broach.
Yeah,
This thing, I can't live without this thing. If I didn't have this disc bay push broach, man, I'd be going crazy. I've
no, and
tried.
I hear that. I hear
I,
that.
I've totally tried going the fullest, cheapest route by buying a pin vise and taking a really big sewing needle and filing it down myself into the shape of the tool that I need to create panel line scribes. And yeah, just it didn't do the job that I was wanting it to do. This thing, two passes, and you're barely touching the plastic. Two passes, and you're done. You don't have to do
Yeah,
anything. Just a quick sand and I'm just like, that's amazing. Now, I can tell you, like, I have bought a whole bunch of these cheap different chisels and stuff just to make sure I wasn't going to waste my money when I bought the Display one. Because I was like, hey, this is $15. That Display product is $50. I want to make sure I'm not
yeah.
going to waste my money.
Well,
And so,
and then so go back to the Craftsman Snap-on debate, right?
right.
The Snap-on torque wrench is deemed the best torque wrench. They use it in F1. They use it in NASCAR. They use it in your local um, mechanic shop. It is the industry standard.
Yeah.
That tool, fully understand. Because the Craftsman, you put it under any pressure, it breaks.
Yeah.
So that in that Snap-on one, shoot, if you're not welding with that sucker, it's gonna last forever.
Oh, yeah.
And even then, if you're welding it to stuff, it could probably undo itself. Like, but that's, you know what I mean? Like, if the best tool is the most expensive tool, yeah, I'm no problem buying the best, and you know what I mean. But at the same
Yeah.
time, if there's a cheap tool that does the same thing,
Yes. Right. That's my exact point. So I am definitely one of those guys that I'm willing to buy the cheap tool first.
yeah.
You know, some
Like if I
things I
showed you
find.
my, I have a routing table that because I do a lot of woodwork. If I
Ooh,
showed you what
routing's
it's made
cool.
out of, huh?
Routing's cool. I like that.
Yeah, this body I made, this guitar body I made. Um, But if I showed you the router that's under it, you'd be like, "What company is that thing from?" And I'd be like, "I found it in a junkyard." But guess what? It shoots sparks and flames out of it like left and right. Does it work? Yeah. Did I spend any money on it? Nope. Is it worth its weight in gold? Yep. Because it never turns itself off.
There you go.
It's some like jerry rigged up router, and it's so funny, and I love it to death.
Nice. I have a couple things that I've found in the dump like that. I have now. I have a saw that is over 100 years old. A hand saw, like a real back and
Let me
forth.
guess, that thing bucks like no other.
Oh man, it's fragile, and I won't use it. I've never actually sawed something with it because it has acid etching in it, and I don't want to wear away any more of the
Oh,
acid etching.
yeah, I hear that.
So
Um,
it's a really
we
nice old saw.
It's not that old, but we have a hand drill that was used to build the old bombers for World War II.
Oh, cool.
You want to talk about a thing that will tear your arm off if it has even the glimpse of hope of doing it? That sucker does.
I bet it does. Real
Dude,
quick.
the bullets that are holding up my guitars, it put in, and it seriously was like, boom, done. And I'm
Yeah.
like, Dad, is that going to hold it? And he goes, this drill puts out easily enough power to rip this entire house down. That hole, we're going to put lag bullets that can hold up at 1,000 pounds each. Your guitars are safe. Like, okay,
Ooh,
Dad.
nice.
Like, this wall will fall over before these bolts come undone. And I'm like, you sure? He's like, watch. And he put one in, and he got on top of the or not on top. He like bounced himself off of like it, and he put all his weight down. And he goes, "See, it ain't coming down. Your guitars don't weigh this much." And I'm like, "Cool." But yeah, the wife keeps trying to see me. I think I do need to get going here soon.
Awesome. No, totally. We've definitely overstayed our welcome on the podcast. So you have a great night. Thank you so much again, Jason, for coming and joining us and having a great time. You're such a
Yeah.
great talking person. Thank you for answering all our questions. And we will see you hanging around TikTok.
Yeah, and I will definitely, if you ever need me to come back, I'm more than welcome to come back.
Oh, sweet. Definitely. I might have you on more regularly. I'm looking for some more regular hangout guys while I build and stuff. So I might
Yeah.
keep you in mind for that. All right. Thanks for hanging out. And we'll
Cool.
see everybody else next time on the late night, or not the late night.